Governor of Kerala, Sri Rajendra Biswanath Arlekarji, Union Minister of State for Petroleum and Natural Gas and Tourism, Sri Suresh Gopiji, Minister of Government of Kerala, Sri P. Rajivji and Sri P. N. Basavanji, Member of Parliament, Sri P. V. Edenji, MLA Sri T. J. Vinodji, Auxiliary Bishop of Perapolli, Right Reverend Dr. Anthony Walumkal ji, Principal Christus College, Dr. Onu Joseph ji, members of faculty and staff, public representatives present on the occasion, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. प्रियपेट्टा विद्यार्थिनी गोले सहोदरी सरदरन मारे एल्लागोर्कु मेंदे नमस्कारम. I am very happy to be here to participate in the centenary celebration of this esteemed college. It is indeed a holistic occasion for this excellent institution. St. Teresa's College has been promoting women's education in India with steadfast commitment to spiritual values. This is a great contribution to social transformation and nation building. We should deeply acknowledge the vision and legacy of distinguished personalities who built this institution and led it through a centenary of sustained accomplishment. This college has been spreading the light of knowledge among women for a century. More importantly, it has been transforming lives. I am sure that you will take forward the noble tradition of Mother Teresa of St. Rose of Lima, the founder of this college. Ladies and gentlemen, women from Kerala have given leadership to the nation. 15 exceptional women members of the Constituent Assembly added rich perspectives in the making of the Constitution of India. Of those 15 outstanding women, 3 were from Kerala. Amu Swaminathan, Annie Moskarin, Dakayani Velayudhan had influenced deliberations on the fundamental rights, social justice and gender equality, as also on several other important aspects. Amu Swaminathan was known for her advocacy of gender equality. Addressing the Constituent Assembly on 24th November 1949, she had said, and I quote, "Now we can say that when the Indian people themselves framed their constitution, they have given rights to women equal with every other citizens of the country. That itself is a great achievement, and it is going to help our women not only to realize their responsibilities, but to come forward and fully shoulder their responsibilities to make India a great country that she had been." Unquote. It is heartening to note that, as foreseen by Amu Swaminathan, women in India have been shouldering major responsibilities in our nation-building efforts. Women of Kerala have set great examples of excellence. The first lady to become a High Court judge in India was Justice Anna Chandi. In 1956, she became a judge in the High Court of Kerala. Justice M. Fatima Bibi made history when she became the first lady judge in Supreme Court of India in 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, the bright women students of this college represents young India, thriving India and vibrant India. Kerala has the most favorable gender ratio in our country. This can be emulated by other states. Active participation of women is necessary for the country to leverage its demographic dividend. Gender budget allocation has increased 4.5 times during the last decade. Women-led MSMEs nearly doubled between 2011 and 2024. One of the key pillars for achieving the vision of Viksit Bharat by 2047 is to achieve 70% women workforce participation. Women from different socio-economic segments have been driving India's progress. Alumni of this college have been playing a positive role through their contribution to the growth and development of the country. I am glad to note that this college has illustrious alumni serving the nation in several fields, including civil services, diplomacy, science and technology, academics, aviation, business enterprise, medical and legal professions, and social service. Ladies and gentlemen, community initiatives of the college are in line with the spirit of helping others. I am happy to note that outreach programs of the college have been widely acknowledged. It is commendable that the college community believes in serving the underprivileged and in maintaining a simple lifestyle. Knowing about students of the college doing selfless work at flood relief camps is truly heartwarming. I am pleased to note that the college has taken up the project to promote sustainability, leadership, and agency through education, which is called SLAT. By taking up this project, the college has demonstrated its commitment to the objectives of National Education Policy 2020. Connecting young people with India's targets under the Sustainable Development Goals and also enabling them for the jobs of tomorrow are praiseworthy aims of the project. Higher education institutions like St. Teresa's College will help India emerge as a knowledge superpower. This is the overarching vision of National Education Policy 2020. Another initiative of the college that caught my attention is promotion of community participation through Radio Kochi 90 FM in talukas and gram panchayats in this area. I have been informed that the community radio service has a large number of listeners who have been helped in times of need through this communication facility. Dear students, I urge you to make life choices with clarity and courage. You should choose the path that allows you to express your passion and capabilities. A society led by women leaders is likely to be more human while being more efficient. I am hopeful that you will demonstrate the effectiveness of women-led development in the areas of your activities after you complete your formal education. I am confident that this generation of young women students will lead India into becoming Viksit Bharat by 2047. I wish all of you a very bright future. Ella Borokum Ende Asam Sag. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.